So India, they're becoming the number one side in ICC's T20 rankings. At this hour, I'm joined by former Indian cricketer Ashok Malhotra and cricket expert Anis Sajan. Well, it all happened because India has found a certain Surya Kumar Yadav in the middle order. And Ashok, it seems that sky is not the limit for India now.
Absolutely, sky is not the limit, and I still can't understand why we didn't play him in South Africa. I know better late than never because it might have been a difference in winning and losing. Definitely he's a man. He's like a man possessed. Whenever he comes in, he performs. He's a performer, and he consolidates. So from where he batted, 98 for three, and we reached 180, 84, 85, thanks to Surya Kumar Yadav, and he's a great improviser. He's a ideal number 4 player. He's a player who can accelerate, and especially in the slog overs, and plus keep rotating the strike in the middle overs. You can't stop him. He's the right guy. He's a perfect foil to Rohit Sharma's and the Virat Kohli's of this world.
Anis, Eden Gardens is not any park which is round the corner. It's a big ground, and to be hitting those lusty sixes as Surya Kumar did would have required some power, isn't it? And the kind of innovation. Talk us through the shots that he played.
Oh, yes, Rika. As you said, Eden Gardens is not a small ground, and hitting such big sixes, he cleared the boundary with such ease. Like a lot of people say that he's a 360 type of a player, and that's what makes him special. He can play the ram shot, he can play the swing, and the shot what I like the best when he plays it over the extra cover. I mean, all the shots are good and they are jaw-dropping. And when he scores, when the chips are down, that's what makes him special. And mind you, with a strike rate of 160, it's mind-boggling.
Ashok, let me ask you, what is your favorite Surya Kumar Yadav shot?
I would say the one he scooped from outside the off stump. That is which set the ball rolling. That is when they have tightened the screws, and that outside the off stump, it was a magnificent shot. I was in the ground and I couldn't believe it. Seeing it on television, seeing it live is a totally different ball games. So it was unbelievable. I know the over covers and the lofted shot over mid off. I mean, there were shots all around, and he's unbelievable. Talk about West Indians who play big shots. We have our own West Indian in Sky, Surya Kumar Yadav, and sky is the limit.
Anis, since we are auditioning for the World Cup T20 World Cup in Australia later this year, would you say India's number 1 to number 6 spot is now almost sorted after this series?
Yes, you can say in hindsight, Rika, we are still jumping the gun. We still have probably 5 games against South Africa, 3 in Sri Lanka, so 8 plus 1 against 3 against England. So yes, 1, 2, 3, definitely we are talking about KL Rahul, Rohit and Virat. Number 4, Surya. Number 5 is, I'm not sure whether, I'm still not certain about Rishabh Pant's place. As much as we have seen him doing well in the test match arena, I'm not so sure about his place and his performance where he's delivered in spite of playing 40 odd games. Now we're talking about Iyer, who can also bowl, whom we are thinking about the next Pandya. Can he seal it? We'll have to see in the next 8 games. But these 5 players have definitely made it with Jasprit Bumrah.
Wow, we spoke about Hardik Pandya, and now we are speaking about the next Hardik Pandya as well, Venkatesh Iyer. I don't know whether that's the best way to describe him. Ashok, would you say 35 not out and 2 wickets? He was really the star of the night and one of the best finds of this series.
The kind of shots he played, Rika, was unbelievable. He was matching Surya Kumar Yadav shot by shot. If he was scooping it from outside the off, so was he, Venkatesh Iyer. And he's a phenomenal bowler. He picked up 2 wickets because he's bowling wicket to wicket. He does not give much of room. I understand Anis said we are not settled, but I think there might be a point to ponder that Virat to open, 3 Sky, and then 4 Shreyas Iyer, 5 Rishabh Pant.
So you're talking about Virat and Rohit to open?
The open, yes, because that is the best place for Virat. That is the best place for Virat in this young team. So definitely, and then not to forget, for me, the greatest cricketer or the best find in this entire team is Shardul Thakur. He's a man with the golden arm. Whenever he walks in, he always delivers, be it batting, be it bowling, and the unbelievable catch he took. He was circling under it, but still picked up a blinder. So he's a
Right.
go-to man. He's a man for the moment and man with the golden arm. I
And
don't know how
does that
management
remind
keeps him out.
does that catch remind you of Kapil Dev in 1983?
Absolutely, 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 absolutely.
Okay, Anis, quickly we have to talk about the Indian death bowlers, their contribution. Ashok mentioned about Shardul Thakur. Last match, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar set up the match, and this match, it seems it was Harshal Patel.
Oh, yes, the difference between both the innings where they leaked some 70 odd runs in the last 5 overs, and we probably defended with 70 or rather 30 runs in the last 4 overs. So Harshal Patel and Shardul, like Ashok Malhotra said, whenever Shardul comes, things tend to happen. And now we have found this young, not young, Harshal Patel has been in the team for a long time for the Indian Ranji Trophy and all. So he's a guy who's disguised his slow ball well. And I hope India stick to him. He might go for runs. There will be times that he will leak runs. Even Shardul will leak runs. But we'll have to back bowlers. Now that we've got Bumrah, I would still back the guys like Shardul Thakur as well as Harshal Patel ahead of Mohammad Shami.
Ashok, what really stood out for me about Harshal Patel was in the end when he spoke about the confidence factor, that one should not be cowed down by the fact that they are hit by the batsman towards the end. They should just keep bowling the way they want to. Do you think the confidence that he has stands him out in the pack?
Absolutely, and the confidence given by the skipper. That is very, very important. He keeps him for the last 2 overs, last 3 overs. He's go-to man for them, especially in the slog overs, with his variation in the pace and the way he bowled today. He took the game away from West Indies. Those 3 wickets turned the game in favor of India. Definitely a man with a lot of confidence, and the man which has the confidence of the skipper. So I think he is going to be in the T20 World Cup team, the way he's bowling. And not to forget, he can hit the ball. So we have a batting lineup which bats till number 10. If Harshal Patel comes at 10, Shardul at 9. So you can imagine the depth in our batting and the depth in our bowling, with Venkatesh Iyer keeping in the 2, Bishnoi a new find. So all in all, it's looking very rosy for India. And if we keep backing these youngsters, I would give credit to the selection committee, the way they're giving chances to the youngsters, because 14 changes they have made, Rika, up till now, and all 14 have clicked. All 4 days. That's a credit to the Chetan Sharma's led selection committee.
And interestingly, today Rohit Sharma came in at number 4 to bat. Not many times do we see Rohit Sharma come in at number 4 and try out youngsters at the top. Well, this is an audition for the World Cup in Australia that is going to happen later this year. But for now, on Sunday night, the news is that India has become the number 1 T20 side after a gap of 6 years. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining me on the broadcast.